My name is Jonathan Parks, and welcome to Jonathan's Nature Crafts. I must inform you that I do not live in this house by myself, but live here with other people. Sometimes other members of the household may have to walk through areas where I might be recording with other family members on the phone. If you hear any noise like that, please feel free to disregard. We are doing our best to get noise canceling equipment, which may at least keep you from hearing exactly what is being said. Thank you for considering. Well, I say for just a little moment here, we come along and kinda have a little stuff to remove along this place in line and around poor old Saint Nick. And as for how this is going to be when it all just comes along just fine, there's just so much to say. I'd like to let y'all know that at this point, Facebook and YouTube are pretty much all I have now. I mean, my Twitter is only for a few friends, and I just recently closed down my Instagram, and I've shared a little bit to my Facebook page as to the reasons why. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have a therapist. I talk to my therapist, and, we get things straightened out, but the reality is that if you have temptations and you have triggers, you just have to avoid all opportunities to face your temptations and triggers. So that is actually the reason why I no longer have Instagram, just to let any of you all know that. And just, I'll just probably say that there's just no need to say more. The fact of the matter is that I shared that to my Facebook page this morning, and there was a certain young lady that commented on it. I ended up deleting her comment once it came down in the conversation, but she just told me what type of problem she thought I had, and telling me about something in there, followed by, it's called a therapist. So it just happened that I kind of wanted to tell her I had a therapist, and just what my advice given was. So that's just kind of what I could have said, but I'll tell you what I did was I deleted her comment. Decided there was kind of like probably no need to really keep the conversation going. It was pointless, so just not so much to share or say within what we had of it, so no need to really say much. I just feel like deleting the account is what took care of the whole issue. And for those of you who might come on this channel, I appreciate you so much for all you do, for all you say. I'll tell you what we did around here was we sort of got around the hem of the skirt. We sort of just rounded things off a little bit like we needed to do, and take care of just what we have that kind of has to go a little bit more to that way, to that direction. I say we're kind of removing a little extra along the way and just kind of taking it down. We kind of got to get it just a little bit of a better oval shape, not where it looks like it's too rectangular with just round corners. So come down to it, this is what we're making of old, I'd say, Saint Nick, and removing little scraps of wood from him to make him stand in a way that you all wouldn't know or see or hear about, to really understand what it was really like or all about, to come down where we see just how good he is and glowing inside of things. I say, this little buddy is just kind of saying his prayers, and there's just a lot of people out there that when it comes down to it, we say a lot of prayers for. I say prayers for strangers when I see them out in places. Sometimes they kind of mean so much that I like to say a lot about them and in my prayers, and tell God a lot of nice good things about them, what I think of them, what all they mean to me. It's just kind of the things where little things that strangers do can be kind of touching, and to that matter, I'd say sometimes even if it's just simply doing their job at a place, you know, that can just be a little bit that way too with you. That's kind of how it's going to go a little bit more now and then. How we're going to see how things will take us down to where we'll just see happy days, happy endings. I say that this is just kind of like how this little type of work shall measure up to what we're going to have to see and say with ourselves in little workless time, and measure and coming down to where we're going to make this little place here along this line just to kind of remove of what's around the little hymn, and kind of take it where we got just one little thing that's measuring up to us. I say just it's here where we come down to a little bit of a skirt intact. Think we're going to take it along on another little Santa shape too. Try to make Saint Nick a little more the same way. Make him with all these little arrows and lines, because I say that this is just kind of one little thing after another to take in a place of little sarcasm and humor, to a place where we're working inside of a good old Saint Nick figure to measure his cloak out. Oh, the robe that he has, I say, kind of just a joy and looking and living, and I say, screw the, it's what we got. I say there's another opportunity made of this mistake. We just chipped a little bit off, too much off the corner, but have a little something else to make out of that. Probably take just as much off of this part too, and come down to where we trim down a little bit down to the place where the hem of the skirt will come right in, to take it where we kind of work a little further in to measure out how this is going to turn out for the better, and see how good a little statue we make. I say that this is just the time when we got business to take care of. Busy times, I say. We never know what's in eternity or what's in God's hands, but the fact that God has a way and a plan of doing everything. I say little good times and bad times. I'd say we're going to kind of take away this little area that's kind of pointed up at the top, remove a little extra from him, and take the little place away that kind of measures down to a little worth of sentiment, and coming down we make a little way just to put the little special work down to the little bone of the object, and putting things away is going to be just kind of like how dry face look is going to be, and get around to where there's more to remove from around the little bottom of the cloak, and down to where we see just how he ought to be. Make it out like this, and take another walnut Santa last of all, and try to trim it down and make it all around to where it's going to be just a little sight you see. I tell y'all that sometimes, just sometimes, followers to my pages, they come out of some of the most interesting and mysterious places that anything can be. I say I'd be happy to have them around. And just one thing you all may know by now is there's been a lot to say, a lot to do. So what a little work we have in ourselves to kind of make it so Saint Nick is just going to ride himself away. Oh, I say, we got a little corner there, take a little corner off here, do a little extra timing and working in that, and I say, just kind of remove extra from around him, take a little more away, down to where we see just what Santa's going to be. We're going to get done with him in a word or two and see how we kind of almost got it a little shaped like a tombstone here. We'll say I'm going to try to take off a little in the back, make it so we're going to try to work our way into this, do what we have to with the knife just to kind of get a little bit more inchy shaved away, and do what we have with all we have, kind of working all kind of awkward and stuff with what we come down to doing, making it so old Saint Nick is just going to be his own little party animal. I say that these are times when I've had moments when angels have had to speak, and all these past few weeks the Lord has really had to be my shepherd. And that's kind of one of those things where shepherded me away from so much of what I didn't need. Sometimes I say it'll be a little difficult to do just enough business in just enough ways and just enough places, but it'll come down to the fact that your soul will surely have a great little place in it to kind of harvest your life and take it down to where all these chiplings and stuff shall be done away. I say, one of these days, there's probably going to be some things I'll get around to doing. Maybe these little tiny birds that had someone request of me. And I say that there's so much more we know about how it goes in the autism world. I say that this is just kind of a blessing to me, working away all the fiber and wood, all the wood and grain, all the grain and chips, taking away all the dust that it causes. And I tell you, I hear a lot of sounds in the house, people moving around, people answering phones and taking phone calls and making phone calls and calling and making arrangements for my great aunt's funeral services and visitation. So it comes down to just one kind of work that we do right after we make another. And for all things, I say this is just a really good kind of work we have got the him all around. So I thank you all for coming on. Thank you all for watching. You all have always been good to watch and to keep updated and all things. And I hope to see you all soon. See you all in more videos as we continue this series. Hope to finish up more steps as we move along, and thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you in the next video. Stay tuned.